Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, West players talk up their chances against the Melbourne Storm. Oliver Gildart talks about settling down in Australia. And I preview the 3 NRL games for Saturday the 12th of March. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also click that notification bell for any updates that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are of today's video. I think it was one of the better ones, as well, I'm dead biased on that front. But you tell me in the comments. I know it was very, very Wests heavy this time, because, well, there is some interesting stories and we have to talk up these games. The Storm will probably win, like I said, but if they push them all the way, they're not going to have that unbeaten streak carry on forever. Who knows? They might even pull off the upset. Do you think having family over in Australia will help Gildart settle down a little better? And do you think he'll cope with the NRL's speed and strength? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide. But in the meantime, stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode. So we start off with Oliver Gildart, as he was snapped up as one of West Tigers' major signings in the off-season ahead of the 2022 season. After playing all his rugby league in for Wigan Warriors in the Super League, the pull of moving to the NRL in Australia was too much to ignore, and he's just revealed why he left Super League for pastures new. It was a dream come true for me, Gildart told West Tigers TV. I've wanted to come over here from being a little kid. Not many people get to come here, especially being from England, and I've got the opportunity now, and I'm going to take it. Before he moved to Wests, Gildart asked Wigan players who had worked under Michael Maguire, the head coach that steered the Warriors to Grand Final and Challenge Cup Final glory, and what it was like. They had some interesting comments. Obviously, a lot of the lads who played with Wigan said he was a bit of a maniac before I came out of it. So I didn't know what to expect, but he's been brilliant, personally off the field as well, so I'm looking forward to being coached by him. The England centre has said that he's also not going to be alone in Australia, as he's got his partner over there, and his brother has just got a visa accepted as well. He's an electrician. So while some players go over and feel a bit homesick, he has got a support network, a small one, mind, who can help out if he does feel that way. Hopefully it's all the best to him as he continues on this journey, the start of this journey. So with West Tigers' new recruit on board, there was another new recruit who had a little bit of comment when it comes to before even a ball is kicked in the NRL season opener against Melbourne, the West Tigers are aware that they are already facing an uphill battle. The two sides get their campaign underway on Saturday night with history firmly on the Storm side. Melbourne Storm coach Craig Bellamy has seen his side since he took over as head coach of Melbourne in 2003, has never lost a season opener. And if Bellamy's O's is ever to go, then it might be at Combank Stadium. Bellamy will be missing Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, and who are due to suspension, as well as adjusting life without Josh Adokar, Dale Finucane, and also Nathan Hines. They've got a few players out, and that's lucky for us, new recruit Tyrone Peachey said. We have to take advantage of that because they were really good over the trials. I've watched their games and they've got a big forward pack. They haven't lost the first round in years. It will be pretty special to get that win, and we've got to have a good week of preparation. The Tigers have their problems too, as they will be without Jason Tarmo through suspension and Adam Duihihi due to injury, while Luciano Leilua missed Monday's training session with a stomach bug. Peachy, Jackson Hastings and also Gildart have been the club's best off-season recruits, but their biggest signing might be off the field. We've added defence coach Nathan Kalis from the Roosters, said towering winger Ken Mauimalo on the right here, whose debut for the Tigers last year was a baptism of fire in the 66 points to 16 loss to the Storm. Him being successful and coming into the club has been massive. The Storm are a tough opposition and we are ready to compete. Maumalo, Peachy, Duahihi, Talmo and halfback Luke Brooks make up the club's new 5-man leadership group, which was voted for by their teammates. While the leadership will be shared responsibility, the role of captain and challenging on-field decisions will likely be a one-man job. Speaking on those on-field decisions, I think Brooksy will do our challenges, forward Offa Hengao said. He's going to be on the field most of the time and he's around the middle. That's just my thoughts. He's the ideal one with Jimmy Tarmo not there. This is my first in-depth look at each of the teams that are going to be involved in the NRL, and it's probably around about round 16 where we're going to get a little bit of the idea of each of the team's thoughts, processes and things like that as the season begins to ramp up. But we have this game on Saturday as the first one that we're going to review, and I'm going to do that now. So here are the 17 that are going to start if the game was played today, which were released by both teams. So Dane Laurie and will be taking the fullback berth for the West Tigers, while Jackson Hastings, Oliver Gildart and Tyrone Peachy have all been named to play for their first games for the club. Hastings will play at 5'8" alongside Luke Brooks, while Gildart is in the centres and Peachy's on the interchange bench. Jake Simpkins starts at hooker, with Jacob Liddell sidelined by a knee injury, while Alex Twal starts at for co-captain James Tarmo, who, as we mentioned, is suspended, but returns in round 2. Luke Garner has recovered from an ankle injury to take his place on the bench. For the Storm, a huge boost for the Storm, with star fullback Ryan Pappenhausen's ankle injury not being an issue, and he has been named to play, while the man who filled in at number 1 jersey in the trials, Nick Meaney, has been named at 5'8". Brandon Smith will start at hooker, with Harry Grant suspended. Impressive rookie Tyron Wishart has won a spot on the bench alongside Jaden Nikarima, Trent Leora Herrero and Nelson Asafo Solomona. Former Knight Josh King starts at lock, and former Broncos Xavier Coates is on the wing. So I'm always rooting for the underdog, and West Tigers would be the underdog in this team, as the Storm have not lost the regular season game for quite some time. Well, they lost one at the end of the season, but it didn't really count as they were already in the finals and won the Premiership. Won the Miners Leaders Trophy. Anyway, so I think Melbourne Storm are going to be too strong for the West Tigers. It's going to be another season of growth, but we'll be looking to see how the halfbacks play together with Luke Brooks and Jackson Hastings, and how Storm go about their business. Will it be the same Storm setup, Or would it be a bit more expansive, not relying on overall pace, but grinding teams down as well? Just don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but all reports say that they have looked impressive in their pre-season. Wests have got a little bit to go. So as we've just covered the last game that we played on Saturday, during the first round of the NRL, we are now on the second game that is going to be played. The first one is at 4 AM in the UK time. This one's at 6:35, and also the West Tigers versus Melbourne Storm is at 8:35, all UK times. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a unknown for this one. But let's run through the teams and see who's got where and when. So, like always, these cards are subject to change as I'm reading these earlier in the season, and things like COVID, injuries, and training incidents may change the team squads. But usually, these are the teams that would start. For the Warriors, Chanel Harris-Tavita starts at fullback in the absence of Reece Walsh, who is due back in round 2. Sean Johnson is back in the Warriors colours in the number 7 jersey, and he'll be partnered in the halves by Cody Nikorima. Teenage centre Villami Vele will play his 3rd career game. Storm recruit Aaron Penn makes his club debut as part of a strong bench, which includes Jazz Tavenga, Ben Murdoch-Masila and Bailey Siranen. For the Dragons, coach Anthony Griffin obviously liked what he saw in the Charity Shield, naming the same 13 for the season opener. Young gun Tyrell Sloan gets the nod at fullback with Cody Ramsey on the wing, while another rising star, Talatau Amone, partners skipper Ben Hunt in the halves. Aaron Wood and Blake Laurie are the starting props, with Francis Molo and Josh Kerr backing them up from the bench. Utility player Moses Mbaye returns to the squad from a quad injury to take his place on the bench alongside Molo, Kerr and former Seagull Jack Goswiewski. George Burgess and Tarek Sims are among the notable absentees from Anthony Griffin's first squad of 2022. So this game is quite a toss-up, to be honest, as it's not played in New Zealand and there's much change in both squads. I don't know. It might be the interesting game of the weekend, to be honest. I don't think both are good enough to challenge the semi-finals or the final stage of the playoffs when them come around, but getting the last spots to get into the minor finals or something like that, possibly. But in this game, Sean Johnston pulling off the magic for the win for the New Zealand Warriors. I'm not sure. I think the stronger bench is for the New Zealand Warriors with Tavenga, Murdoch-Masila and Bailey Siranen. But it's what's on the field. The offensive flair is there for the New Zealand Warriors, but the Dragons, I'm going to go for the New Zealand Warriors at this point. I know I've in it, but I'm going to say the star power with Chanel Tavita Harris Tavita, Sean Johnston, and that bench, as well as Storm recruit Aaron Penny being involved. I'm going to go for New Zealand Warriors. So the last game that I'm going to review is the early kickoff between Sydney Roosters and the Newcastle Knights. Both teams are coming off in different 2021s and in different, really, trials games. as the Roosters lost in one of those games, and the Newcastle Knights are still trying to build up. So let's have a look at the teams and go through who's doing what and where. First of all, the Roosters. Sam Walker and Luke Keary time up for the first time in the halves as champion number 6 returns from the reconstruction. Also back on the deck are Maroons props Lindsay Collins, who injured his knee in round 8 last year against this week's opponents Newcastle, and also Joey Manu is included after his fractured cheekbone, which put him out of the semi-final in the game at South Sydney Rabbitohs. Promising centre Billy Smith has been named to play just the 6th game of his career after an ankle injury curtailed his 2021 season in round 19. With Connor Watson returning to the Roosters after 4 years in Newcastle, and he'll fill in at number 9 with Sam Verrills not due back from suspension until round 2. The Knights have Adam Clune stepping in to fill Mitchell Pearce's shoes at halfback, while Dane Gagai is back in the Knights' colours in the centre. Blues origin prop David Saifiti is out with a small fracture in his left tibia and will be monitored for the next couple of weeks. His brother Jacob moves into the starting side, and former Raiders and Rugby Union prop Leo Thompson will debut from the bench. Kurt Mann has won his race for the lock position ahead of Phoenix Crossland, who comes from the bench. With Himmel Hunt sidelined with a knee injury, Dominic Young of Huddersfield fame gets a shot on the wing, while Chris Randall is in the hooker position in the absence of Jaden Brayley, who has an Achilles injury. This game kicks off at 4 AM in the UK time, and at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The man in the picture, I think he's going to be the X factor for the Roosters. James Tedesco has always been, he's probably the best fullback in the NRL at this time and most respected. Probably fill that number 1 jersey when it comes to World Cup time as well if he stays fit. Be good to see him there as he played for Italy in a previous World Cup. Anyway, I digress. This game, I think it's the Roosters to win. They're at home, and they are probably the bigger, tougher team out of the two. The return of Joey Manu and then Daniel Tupou on the wing shows that they mean business. Paul Momirovski coming in from the Panthers as well is a good move. So that backline has got even stronger, despite losing the twins from last year. So yeah, be end all and end all. It's a Roosters game. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also share this video worldwide, as we need to get the word out for Rugby League. The NRL is starting this weekend, and it's a premier competition around the world. That's the one thing that we can say about it. It just is. It's the one that earns the most money, and is the version that is watched the most in Rugby League. So, tell me what your thoughts are of the prediction, and who do you think is going to win the NRL Grand Final this year? I've got a couple of ideas. It's the usual suspects, to be honest. Panthers will go again and run close, but they won't win it. Two Sydney clubs seem to be very strong, but we'll have to see how Jason Demetriou leads the teams around. But Trent Robinson has built a team back up. More modern looking team rather than the bruising teams as past. Don't get me wrong, they can still do the bruising. There's no two ways about that. And then there's Melbourne Storm. Very good team. Tough. And will play the Craig Bellamy type of rugby league that they have done all those years. And it's his dynasty, it's his club, it's his team. You won't expect them to do anything other. They'll be very, very competitive. But anyway, comments please about all the stories that were put together today. But in the meantime, remember to share the video. Please stay safe. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next episode.